Pitan kotuk disnikas. Paganazaiga ning biundase. Sigoge ninakawe. My name is Vivian Stoney. I'm from what it was once known as Nut Lake. It's now called Yellow Quill. I was raised by my grandmother, and her name was Eliza Apuch by English. And her Nakawe name was Bituawis. My grandpa, his name was Joe Apuch in English. And his Nakawe name was Apuchinakatuezis, means hummingbird. My grandpa was born 1890 and my grandmother was born 1900. They were 10 years apart. When he had passed away back in 1979, he had passed in a car accident going to a feast. And he had left my grandmother. He went on to the spirit world. And my mother had handed me over to her to go live with her. So she raised me in and out of my lifetime. During that time of her mourning, she was really sad. She told many, many stories, especially in the wintertime, in those long winter nights. A lot of stories. One of the stories that will stick to me always is the snake story. The snake is really important in my way of belief. And this is how she told it to me. A very long time ago, way before any other race existed in our indigenous lands, she said in our language, Manitou means great spirit, had granted a lot of people, every nations, a very long life, really long. Some of them, they lived to be over 500 years. And one day, that one man asked Manitou, we live too long. We suffer too long on our lands. We suffer with ailments, diseases, health, loneliness. When people move on after 500 years, we suffer really long. And that man asked Manitou, is there anything you could do to help us out? We're suffering emotionally, mentally. Manitou didn't say anything. One day, he said, and he asked the snake to help him. The snake said, okay, in Soto, in our Nakawe language, I will help you. And you are right. Too many of these, mankind is living too long, way too long. But today it's going to change. And Manitou told him, okay. And that snake, he went and took that man's life. And he said, because you suffer here too long, and the earth is overcrowding, it's overpopulating, we're going to take you somewhere where you can live and flourish in everlasting life. But first, this is what you have to do. I guess that snake, he took that life and he took him. And the snake told Manitou, I will pity you, and I will pity these people that are suffering. I will pity them. And I guess that snake told him, I will take the life. I will take his life. His body will die. In return, his soul will live on. And the Manitou said, okay, I grant you that. And from here on in, this is what's going to happen. And then a lot of people started dying. Lots of people started dying. And they started going to the everlasting life, flourishing, whatever they do over there. And the Manitou said, before you take this life, there is one that we have to We have to honor this. The snake said, yes, we will honor this. We will honor death and life after death. And this is what you will do for me to honor this with you. And I guess when the snake said, in the everlasting flourishing life in the afterworld, I will be over there. I will wait for you. There's going to be a river there. I will open that way to the second world. So when they travel, make their journey, they make it over there because there's a river there. But in order for that to happen, you must be a very good person. You cannot lie. You have to speak honesty. You have to speak truth. You cannot manipulate people. You cannot do all kinds of negative things or hurt anyone. Before they step on me, I will know that. And if they do, I will turn them and there'll be a river of bones there. I guess that's what that snake said. In order to honor that between him and the Manitou, when the human, the native people, when they kill him, they have to take him and hang that snake on a tree to honor that agreement that they had with the Manitou and him. And how important that is in our culture, our way of belief. That's the prayer. A prayer is even said when someone passes away. What I just said, that prayer is said like that. And they honor the Great Spirit. They honor that snake. And I guess in today's world, when I think about it, it's the acceptance of when someone passes away. The acceptance to live that good life while living over here, because that was a promise that he had made, that Spirit, and that promise that Spirit made too. And between those two, they have to honor that. All living things, all living plant life, animals, and the two-legged. And that's a very powerful story. My grandmother shared that with me. And it was the time of her mourning when my late grandpa, when he had passed away. And all those stories that she told was the acceptance, hoping that they journeyed on, hoping that he made that choice with Great Spirit to honor that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you, and to share among the listeners too. That's how important it is to know the legends, the stories, to know where you come from, because it all explains acceptance. It all explains truth. It explains being honest. It explains to be freely who you are, but to live in Manitou's way and to that way. On behalf of my late grandmother, Eliza, I'll always acknowledge her, and my late dad, Harry Stoney, for all his stories like that, an explanation of why we live the life we live. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening to me.